welcome back everybody to our third and final matchup of the night. We're going to be heading over to the Novice League where we got Acceleration and Pawns facing off. Two kind of somewhat top caliber teams here that are sitting in the middle of the pack. And I'm joined here by Fishmeister.
Oh, that's it. I was ready for more coming out of Mr. Cook Bagel himself, but we do have two pretty interesting novice teams, I have to say. Like you said, they're both pretty top caliber, but both sitting in the middle of the pack in that Western Conference.
Yeah, indeed. I saved the extra fluff for the team names, Fishy, as you know. And as the ceiling noises were in effect for today as well in our match. There's many construction going on the second floor.
And you got to get that figured out at some point. I hear it's messing up all your comms.
It was making things difficult, but that's enough about me and Fishy going back to Acceleration and Pawns. But yeah, I mean, Acceleration Season 3 champions last season, and they're not doing. Granted, two of their players promoted up to the Prospect League, but they still have Cosme and Slays, but just haven't been performing. And then Pawns, they got the carry and Nemesis, who recently just changed his name to Bruh Pineapple for whatever reason. But both these teams got some solid players on it, but they just can't find the win column as consistently as they would like, I suppose.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that one. There sure is a lot of talent on both of these teams. Mentioned Bruh Pineapple and Cosme for sure, but all of these players can hold their own in the Novice League. It's just a matter of consistency. It seems like that whatever team can pull out more wins will make playoffs because these two teams are fighting for those final playoff spots.
Indeed, and I know I mentioned Cosme, but it doesn't look like he's going to be playing in this matchup, actually. I'm assuming God Gamer, I'm not saying the numbers, will will be subbing in for at this point, as he's not in the lobby, so I'm just going to assume he's not going to play.
Yeah, I know Acceleration's had a lot of trouble getting their full lineup out every single game, but if they could just find that lineup once again that works whenever it does, they can get wins like we saw last season.
Yeah, indeed. As we're waiting for them to... There's issues with the lobby at the moment. Oh, okay, I guess Cosme is here. There's a full 10 people in this lobby. So I guess Cosme will be playing. I'm not sure. Maybe the sub's just standing on standby for one of these two teams, but either way, we'll hope to get this match started up here in a few seconds. But for predictions, Fishy, I know we're a little unsure about the performance of both these teams, but you got one leaning one way or the other.
I think these are two very equal teams. And whenever I have teams like that, I just look at their past results, or recently anyway, to look at momentum. And Acceleration had a little bit of an off week last week with a couple of losses, I do believe. So I think I'll go with Pawns in this one, but I'll bring it to game 5.
You know, I am feeling confident in the Pawns as well, as they got Pineapple, Daduki, and Radio, and I mean that's a solid squad that's going to have to find another win against this defending Acceleration team. And like we mentioned, Acceleration, they might even have hopes to even make the 5th, 6th seed spot in playoffs at the moment if their performance is not going to keep going up.
Yeah, and Pawns even was in that grand final last season, I do believe, as Bruh Pineapple scores the first goal here.
Indeed, actually, you are correct. This is a rematch of the Season 3 Grand Finals, and that one was close. I think Acceleration ended up winning 4-2, but we'll have to wait and see the result on this series. It's a quick kickoff goal. We'll get the Pawns a 1-0 lead in the first 4 seconds there.
And that's always a good start for a team's momentum, just getting off right off the bat, that first goal out of the way, can do a great deal to your mental state going through the rest of the series.
Indeed, another good kickoff for the Pawns. They didn't score right off it right away, but Daduki having a good chance, but unable to find the backboard read, as Pineapple using all 100 of his boost for a little bit of a subpar touch, but Pawns still able to keep it in the Acceleration half at the moment. Radio with a half volley of his own to keep it back into this blue half again. So he's going to get dunked out this time. Pineapple sending it straight back on. And I don't know how many times Acceleration is trying. They just can't seem to get it out of their half. We're only in the first minute, and the ball is finally going to touch the orange.
Yeah, it seems like Acceleration may be playing a bit too passive on defense. They really need to just get the ball cleared every once in a while to relieve some of that pressure, because it has been all pawns so far.
Initially, and as soon as it did touch the third, I mean, it's going right back, and all three Acceleration players clustered on the back wall is going to lead to a second one.
Yeah, you said it yourself. All three players right on that left side of that back wall. Never a good sight to see when you're trying to defend a ball, especially when that ball is already over their heads.
Yeah, I mean, I think more often than not that should be Cosme's ball, but just maybe couldn't get it, although they're going to get one off the kickoff. Good setup from God Gamer, as he almost found kind of a nutty double right here. Someone might want to check this man's rank. I'm not expecting a novice to make that backboard read.
I gotta agree with you there. He jumped up and I was ready for that ball to go to the corner. It's such a frequent sight to see whenever those double taps do try and come out, but a great pass coming out from him to bring it within one goal.
Yeah, and kickoff going in Acceleration's favor this time, but again, off the kickoff, the pressure immediately favoring the pawns, as Radio's going to jump up for this. Getting dunked out to the left side, but Pineapple back to the middle, but only to Slays, and the F-150 is going to put one on with the follow-up, and a little bit of a sloppy game on both sides, but sitting at a 2-2 scoreline approaching halftime.
Pawns, as soon as they have to do some defense of their own, the clear from Slays was a little too much. High on that backboard. It is not an easy read to make, and he's there for the follow-up to bring this game level.
Yeah, and maybe it's just because I haven't been paying enough attention to novice gameplay, but I know we said both these teams were pretty good and just haven't found as many wins as we thought they would, but there's a lot of big clears, a lot of big follow-ups off these backboards, and these players are finding them more often than not as far as these first 2 minutes are concerned, and I'm honestly impressed.
It's definitely a step up from last season, it seems, and maybe they're not the brunt of many jokes
Oh,
here.
as I say that. Well, it's just giving them a compliment, and then, you know, Pawns Radio, he couldn't find the read off that sidewall, and Acceleration have found 3 goals in a row to take back the lead.
Yeah, it is a good turnaround coming from them, and just getting some pressure of their own, and it's caused Pawns to force out a few mistakes as another one almost comes out here.
Radio, again, in the very similar situation as that last goal, putting himself too close on that sidewall in relation to the net, and now Acceleration, nobody's going for this ball, and these two teams are just mirroring each other at the moment.
And God Gamer, he was leaving that for Cosme, and I'm alright with a player leaving the ball, but I think Cosme didn't know he was going to leave it, so it just bounces off their backboard straight to the Pawns player who puts it in the net.
And, I mean, I don't blame them. It definitely looked like that bounce might have curled up the back wall. It definitely looked that way, but either way, the bounce shot straight back out to the middle, and Cosme and God Gamer were right on top of each other. And now you have 6 goals in 3 minutes as 2 of the Acceleration players are bumping each other. Cosme taking to the dribble over 1, trying to find another one over 2, as Pineapple getting a save on the goal line. Radio on the other side trying to continue the touches, keep this pressure on the blue half, but a good pinch is going to send it straight back onto the Pawn side. Pineapple into his own corner. Unfortunate touches, still going to be able to get past 2. Here comes Cosme racing in as Radio with a good 50 to send it back out, and it seems like these two teams have maybe calmed down a bit. Might be seeing some consistent gameplay.
It seems like they got the nerves out of the way, maybe just being on stream for the first time in a bit. But I think these defenses have really stepped up. Not too many mistakes coming out in the past minute or so.
Definitely they've tightened it up, as a little bit of a whiff in the corner, but Acceleration isn't going to get punished for it quite yet. Pineapple Getting a 50 through Cosme, although Godgamer up early. Another solid read coming out from him. He had that good backboard read earlier, and he was up quick for that. The ball did get saved away, though. And Pineapple with a great save of his own on his own goal line. Under a minute left, and the shot from Godgamer just off target. And I don't know who this man is. I don't know if they just signed. He's looking like the best player on acceleration at the moment.
He had the double tap earlier in the game, and now he's banging them just off the post that one time, but he seems to be bringing a lot of the pressure for this acceleration team.
Yeah, as a fourth one almost going for an acceleration, and Radio King found him in the all too familiar spot of being stuck on that sidewall for no apparent reason. He keeps putting himself there, and the ball keeps slipping past him. Oh. And Pawns, they didn't get punished for it there, but they will here if Cosme can finish this, and he will. A little bit of a double commit in the mid boost is going to give acceleration the last laugh potentially.
Bit of a double commit coming out from Pawns, but still taking nothing away from the dribble from Cosme. With low boost, he managed to pop it over a defender, and luckily there was another one that overcommitted as well, but good play from Cosme may just win them the game.
And this is a good opportunity here, but Pineapple sending it to the middle, but the mid man is not quite ready, and this one will touch the ground. Although maybe it won't. It's coming back to the other side. Follow-up for the Pawns, and they're almost going to put the shot on. Follow-up for Radio, but he couldn't find the touch, and this one will finally touch the ground. I mean, I'd call it calamity in the final seconds, but it was a miracle that even went onto the other side.
And acceleration, their hearts must have been just beating so fast because they kept that ball up willingly. It almost came to bite them. Pawns, they had a good look there in the final 0-second shot.
Yeah, and that was a battle of really, I'll throw it to it again, but these teams' records aren't the best, but all six of these players on both rosters looking really good. The only person that seems a little bit out of his element at the moment is Radio on defense, and he had a few lackluster shots on offense. If he can tighten it up, I mean, this is kind of a heavyweight battle of Novice League at the moment. All six of these players' gameplay are really impressing me at the moment.
And I think the Pawns, they just really need to go back to that pressure because in those opening 2 minutes, it looked like acceleration was stuck in their net all the time. And that was due to the good rotations of the Pawns, keeping a player always on the ball and keeping that ball in the acceleration half.
Yeah, and last minute goal opportunities aside, I mean, Pawns, they had that lead and they threw it away. And a few more mistakes on defense allowed acceleration to get 2 more goals. Here's Godgamer again off the kickoff, and again, I mean, I don't want to throw accusations out there, but somebody check this man's rank. This man is finding some crazy reads. I mean, a little bit of a mistake after the follow-up from the Pawns, but I mean, Godgamer's carrying this roster right now.
I don't think I've ever seen a novice get a double tap from the ceiling, almost get a double tap, and then he bumps out the goalie as well to give the goal to his teammate. That's just a great play coming out from Godgamer.
Yeah, I mean, he's rocking the Season 1 bronze tournament winner, but I mean, I don't buy it for a second. I mean, this man is just popping off at the moment, but we'll have to see how Pawns can bounce back, as again, the momentum is against them at the moment. Pineapple, good hit. That's going to come falling down. The acceleration player will find the backboard read. Radio up, trying to put the shot on, off the crossbar. Another missed opportunity for Radio. It wasn't an easy shot by any means, but Radio, a very solid player as well. I'm expecting him to find that read. And an opportunity gone awry for the Pawns once again.
We'll have to see if they can step it up here, because that was good bounce back pressure coming out from them. Like you said, the execution not quite there at the moment. Really like to see them start putting these shots on target and forcing out some saves.
Yeah, now in the midfield, Radio looking to redeem himself. Good 50. Pineapple comes charging in, trying to follow his own touch. Can he find it? Almost does, but Daduki was up as well. Daduki perhaps should have been a little bit more double commit to come out, and another mistake from Radio on defense again. I'm not sure if he could have gotten back in time or if he had enough boost, but now Pawns at a 2-0 deficit once again.
And it seems like they're putting Radio King in these awkward spots because both Pineapple and Daduki Went for that 50 on the goal line. When it didn't go in, he's left in an awkward spot back on defense and just couldn't get to the shot over his head in time.
And Daduki should have been more patient on an opportunity from Pineapple, but I mean, all 6 of these novice players are just going for some insane reads at the moment, and I don't think anybody's expecting him to find it, and more often than not, 4 players are committing for a ball in this goal line because these mechanical plays are coming out, and they want to stop the opportunity as confusion on the pawn side, but still able to find the clear. Here's Pineapple. Can he find some play this time? Trying to get the fake under 1, and with 0 boost is going to find a goal.
I don't think anyone jumped for that pop from Pineapple. It seemed like everyone respected him to try and follow that one up. Cosme maybe on 0 boost in net, but that one will just float its way into the top right corner.
The camera was on Radio, and I honestly thought Radio was the acceleration defender. He was on the backboard in the perfect spot, and I thought he faked it under Radio, but that was his own teammate, as Pineapple's going to get good pressure off the kickoff again. Here comes Radio. This one's going to bounce down. Daduki there for the shot. It's a slow roller, and it's going to go in off of the bump. Daduki getting reverse pool shotted.
That's a great pass from Radio King off the ceiling. But Daduki, a little lucky on that shot, I have to say. Because it seems like Slays would have gotten that save if he didn't bump him into the goal.
I mean, that's just tactical positioning right there. He just parked the bus. He parked the trailer right in front of that acceleration defender, and he basically just had to go through him. Another opportunity. Godgamer finding a kind of an awkward save, but will save them from giving up 3 uncontested goals. It's now acceleration. Momentum shifted against them this time, as Pineapple and the rest of the pawns are starting to heat up. Daduki getting demoed for his efforts, but keeping the ball on the blue half. Cosme realizing he has a lot of space, but Radio going to shut that opportunity down quick. And a series of demos are going to continue to keep this ball in the pawns' favor. There's Radio again, last back on defense, and again, a subpar touch as Godgamer is going to find an insane read. I don't know how many times to say it, but again, another misplay coming out from Radio.
What is that read from Godgamer in the corner? And he pre-jumped it before it even hit the wall. Take nothing away from that shot from Godgamer.
Another mistake coming out from Radio, but either way, Godgamer continuing to find these insane reads. Somebody, I hate to shut down Acceleration's momentum here, but somebody called a Smurf alert. Something's not right with this man, but he's just pulling out some crazy reads. I mean, just look, he's banging the ball every time he touches it. He's looking so confident every time he goes for the ball. I mean, whether or not, he just looks so good on the field. I mean, I hope he's not a Smurf, but at this current point in time, I mean, there's some challenger that aren't even finding those reads, and he's in the bottom league.
Yeah, he's really helping out Acceleration in this one. Still somehow not top of the leaderboard, despite being so great in here. Pineapple is going to tie this up for pawns and swing the momentum back.
Yeah, as all 3 Acceleration players clustered in the same spot, deja vu of game 1 on that backboard, and pawns will take the opportunity. They're going to tie it back up at 3-3 apiece. Another good kickoff here for pawns. Daduki lofting this one onto net, but Cosme being patient once again, but that's the second time he tried to be patient, and the second time he got dunked. I just have to go the Godgamer route of just banging the ball out of defense. Another awkward ball for Acceleration is Radio getting an awkward back pass to Daduki. Here's Godgamer looking for the pass, but neither Cosme or Slays rushed in for that one. Ball off the backboard. Daduki's going to find an own goal off his own backboard, and unfortunate way to give up the lead after they just tied it up.
Unfortunate's the only way you can put that touch. He needed to go up for that because Slays was lurking to get that backboard shot. But just unfortunate that that ball went behind him instead of where he wanted it to.
Yeah, but once again, all these kickoffs going in favor of the pawns, and It's going to give them some early pressure again. Can they find another goal to tie it up in these final seconds, or will Acceleration skate the way with another 1-goal victory off another Pawn's mistake? 10 seconds and counting. Radio getting bumped. Slay's there, keeping the pressure up. This one will likely touch the ground as Slays keep it in the corner. And Acceleration, they find themselves in a 2-0 series lead at the moment, but kind of off the back of these Pawn's mistakes.
The Pawn's mistakes have kind of been giving them the goals. And just looking at the shots from Acceleration, they only have 4, but they scored every one of them. So even if the Pawns are making mistakes, they're doing a great job at capitalizing on those and converting.
Yeah, I will say it wasn't quite 100% shooting, as they didn't technically get a credit for a shot on that own goal. But you know, I see where you're coming from. Technically speaking, they scored every one of their opportunities. But honestly, if Pons can just cut down on those defensive mistakes, I mean, Radio had another misplay in the midfield, and unfortunately, nobody else was to blame but Daduki on that own goal. If they could just cut down on those mistakes, they could surely even start the reverse sweep attempt against this Acceleration roster that's kind of like defense themselves. And even though God Gamer's carrying them on the offense, Cosme and Slays are making well enough mistakes on defense for Pons to put themselves back in this matchup. But they're going to have to start here hot in Game 3 to have any hopes of extending this series. It's now off the kickoff again. Pons every time off the kickoff. They're finding possession. Daduki with the 50 going on to net, but Cosme able to slip away and put this one back onto the Pons side. Radio getting hard beat, and this one almost slipping in off the beat 50. And Cosme keeping it in. Light touch that falls back onto his own head. God Gamer back on his own side, getting a good 50. And this ball is going back and forth after one failed challenge after the other. As Pineapple trying to extend the play in the midfield. And Radio again, every time he's on defense, it's just some sort of tiny misplay. I hate to keep calling him out. Maybe he didn't think it was going to slip through Daduki, but another lead for Acceleration.
Yeah, and again, you said it yourself. You hate to call him out on this one, but it seems like every time that he's left back in those 2-on-1s or 1-on-1s, the Pawns, he's just in an awkward spot with low boost where he can't get the read every time. It seems like it might be a rotational thing where they need to start leaving maybe 2 people back for those Acceleration attacks because they are very threatening.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it is some rotational play and a few mechanical mistakes thrown in there as well that are letting Pawns throw away opportunities that just shouldn't be going in. As Pineapple last back this time, giving a little bit too much respect and finding a last-second save. But either way, keeping the 1-goal deficit alive is an almost good play coming out. Radio looking to redeem himself, and he will, in a great counterattack coming out of defense.
And that's the quick play from the Pawns that you love to see. The 3-man passing play out of defense, reading the ball off of the post and managing to beat the defender too. That's just a great play to tie this one up.
Yeah, and that was such an interesting touch from Radio. It almost like he ground pinched it off of a single jump, and Pineapple just racing in, putting a banger on the net, and thankfully for the Pawns, it bounced out perpendicularly for an easy follow-up for Radio. And now, maybe that good play get them back into this game. Pineapple taking to the dribble. Cosme finding a good save of his own to keep this one all tied up. Slays past one, getting a 50 past another. Pineapple charging in, not able to find the touch. Cosme slipping it past the final defender, and God Gamer will slip that one off the 50 post.
I'm looking at Daduki here. He's such a weird spot there at the front post against 2 defenders. He had to guard that shot, and as soon as that was a weak touch coming out, it was bound to go into that near post.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think that may have been Pineapple's fault right there, as he came rushing into the corner and didn't even find a touch, and that left Dookie in an awkward spot to try and defend a well opportunity from Cosme. And here's Cosme again, rushing into the box and sealing away another one.
It seems like Pawns just can't handle the corner plays coming out of acceleration right now. It's just been 2 bangs off of that corner, coming in hard and fast. There's no answer from Pawns on defense right now.
Yeah, and this, I attribute the first goal from acceleration as a mistake, but these last two, acceleration, they're just picking up the pace, and they're just the speedier team at the moment. They're getting these balls out from the corner super quick, and Pawns, they just can't react in time. And they still got a lot of time to work with here. 2 minutes and counting to mount a comeback. But the way acceleration is playing and the situation that the Pawns are in, finding themselves down at 2-0 in the series, not too confident in them. Another good play from the Pawns could come out, as Pineapple sending it off to the side, trying to follow his own touch, but couldn't quite. Radio last back, getting it past a pre-flipping Cosme. Good opportunity here. Radio looking for the almost another good play coming out here, but not much time left, Fishy. But what does the acceleration, or excuse me, the Pawns have to do to get themselves back in this last second attack?
Seems like the Pawns really just need to clear up their rotations a bit, because they're getting stuck at the back whenever they double commit. Has almost a shot coming out from Cosme off of another double commit there. If they can clear up those rotations and transition it into that offense, we've seen how quick their counterattacks can be.
Yeah, definitely. The rotation seems to be the main con for this Pawns roster at the moment, but a simple rotational fix might not be enough with a minute. They're gonna have to get some demo plays, some hard clears out. As I say that, Slay's demoing a Pawn defender. Another shot, good save from Daduki to keep the deficit where it is. It's gonna keep the pressure up. And if they do not find one here, the hopes of the reverse sweep might just be shut down. Acceleration will find themselves with a clean 3-0 sweep. Opportunity for Pineapple. He's going to shoot it right at the defender, though, and it needed to be a better shot.
Had to be. They needed that opportunity there. They need 2 goals in just 10 seconds now.
And it will likely be a sweep for acceleration, as this ball taking too many touches to get its way down the field, and the clock is hit 0. And acceleration almost finding one for the road, but I mean, it was a sweep, but I almost want to say the rematch of the Season 3 Grand Finals did not disappoint. I mean, that was kind of a hot and heavy 3-0 sweep. Both teams looking very deadly at times, but ultimately the Pawns' mistakes and acceleration's speedy offense proved to be the keys to victory there for acceleration.
Most sweeps you can look at it and say, oh, the winning team just really dominated them, but I don't think that really applies in this game here, because Pawns, they showed a ton of great plays coming out from them. But acceleration, it seems like they just did a better job with those fundamentals of cleaning up those plays whenever they were given to them.
Yeah, and I definitely a 3-0 sweep on paper does not tell the full story, but if you're Pawns, it's definitely disappointing to not come away with a victory or a individual game win in that series, but I would not be disappointed by any means. There's definitely a lot of promise left, as we got at this point, I think we have 6 games left in the season, and both those teams fighting for that last playoff spot in that conference, but I don't think either team has that last spot locked up at the moment.
Yeah, they can both be chasing each other for the whole season long, up until the last game with how both these teams played in this one.
Yeah, but unfortunately for Pawns, another loss for them in acceleration. Good momentum for them with 3 more weeks of our league play remaining, and that's going to do it from us for tonight, as acceleration finding the dub Or excuse me, Acceleration may have found the win, but we are going to be revealing your Season 4 All-Stars for the All-Star matches this Saturday, and we're going to jump into that in a second. I don't know if C Money wants to step in here. I don't know if we're going to like a short 2-minute break or if we're going to do it right now. I guess C Money will not be stepping in. Okay, I guess we're taking a break. Yes, Goff, I totally know what's going on right now.
It's all right. I don't know for sure either. Bagels.
Anyways, uh, got some water in me. I'm pretty sure C Money yelled at me and said there is a break, so we'll be back in 5 minutes. And I love everybody. That is what I'm literally. C Money's feeding the words to me. I love everybody. Thank you for all the matches tonight. For everybody showing up, and we'll be right back for your Season 4 All Stars.